Okay, here's what I ordered. It's been in the garage here for a week. I'm dealing with it. Unfortunately, it's hot as hell out here. But, anyways, I got three big packages. And obviously, when you order this stuff, there's different options of what you want. I did order the weights with it because I was reading and did some investigation on the weights. The cheaper weights actually are not as accurate according to the weight scale. So obviously they're made cheaply, but they're not accurate in weight. So I just went ahead and decided to order what was on this particular major fitness site. I did look into the weights, and they're supposed to be the lowest price but accurate. So looks like they left my weights out there overnight before I realized it. They never did tell me through the email that they delivered it, so everything came in, I want to say, a week and a half before they were supposed to be here. Never did I get any confirmation, but we'll be checking out there. So all my weights, I did check the weights here. I got all the weights, which I think is 230 some pounds or 240 pounds. I did get the optional bench, incline bench. I never had an incline bench before, so that was part of the package. And I mean, that was, I think, an extra $200. These weights, I can't remember how much extra. I think it was like $200, $300 extra. But I would have had to go out and spend the money separately somewhere else for those two items. And then I got the Smith's machine. This is actually from Major Fitness. This is the Drone 2 Smith machine. I looked at other outfits, and I kept going back to this one for what I was seeing on YouTube and investigating. So, you know what? This does what I want to do, if not more, definitely more. But they come in three packages. That one, it's upside down. So 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and obviously 3 of 3. So they seem to be intact. So I'm hoping that I don't have any parts missing or any damage. When I brought them in, obviously I used to don it because they left them on the road. The packages seem to be pretty much intact for the amount of weight. My weights were different, obviously, because they were just left on the ground also. I did check them, all my weights are there. I did put out a couple of them just to confirm all the weights there. So I've been just kind of working all week, but now I'm going to deal with it. So, that being said, I already cleared out my room. I'm going to lay these out here because I do plan to probably paint part of the frame to go with the theme that I plan to do in my room, which is a Transformer Autobots theme. Let's see what if I got all the parts here. Okay, I got my weights all. I'm trying to clean up my garage so I can organize this a little bit better, obviously. So I'm trying to take my time. I don't want to rush this. Checked all my weights, got rid of the boxes, all this clutter here. This is off of box 1 of 3. Now, what I do like about this is each box, I opened already, that's box 3 there. I haven't unloaded it, but this is box 1. Each box, what I'm finding out, has what is actually inside this box. So me, I want to make sure that everything that is supposed to be here is here. So I checked it off. I took out one box at a time, and obviously they are labeled. These bars are labeled right there with what they're supposed to be B, and it tells you right here, there's a B here, how many pieces there are, 2. So there's 2 there. So I accounted for everything on box 1 and all these small parts here that came out separately. So I cleaned up my weights. Now later on, as I'm putting this together, I'm going to check the weight on each one of those just to get clarification and know that whatever weights you're getting, if you're getting them from this Major Fitness outfit, that they're going to be accurate as far as what they're supposed to weigh. I'm getting educated as far as I didn't realize that that's why some of them were a lot cheaper than others, because they're not really the true weight. So I want to verify those before I get them in the house. But I'm making this in segments, obviously, because I'm not going to record here the whole time. So I'm gonna move on to box number 2. So that's a plus as far as trying to account for all the parts, and they made it easier. So anyways, moving on. Okay, I got box 2 of 3 unpacked. So everything, I just right of that 2x4 here. This is box 2, this is box 1. Now I accounted for everything that was on the equipment sheet here. So the only thing that I found out so far on the box, oh, there's another one right there. Out of box 2, you see that? That's scratched. I was gonna point that out, okay. I was gonna put on one where I spotted it earlier, right here on this bracket right here. Also scratched. So when you're doing your checkoff list, I always try to inspect everything, make sure there's no dents or dings or whatever, but I overlooked this one. I just get the camera. If it's detailed, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I'm not gonna make a big stink over it. I don't know where they shipped this from. But I mean, that can just be touched up. Doesn't feel like it's dinged up. So one of those deals where if you want to cause a stink, I guess you can contact the manufacturer and say, hey, send me another one of these, and I'm sure they'll probably send you that, whatever is dinged up. But it's one of those deals where you want to inspect your equipment as you're unpacking it and check it off. If not, then you'll have a cluster. Because once you start putting this together, you don't even know where to begin. And if you get it all together, then you'll be, up the creek without paddles. So I'm trying to keep everything separated. But that's so far, that big boy right there is the next one. So, okay, I'm gonna do an update. It's been a week, approaching a week. This is where I'm at with my my home gym. I got my frame up. It's a Smith's Gym. This one's called Major Fitness Drone 2. Anyways, then I got my treadmill here. I did order those weights, Olympia weights, and then the bench also with this package. So it took me most of the day Sunday to put this together. This is my second time using it. First time I used it, I was doing some chest exercises, and it seemed to hit a group of muscles on my chest that I hadn't been using the free weights, nor the other barbells. So I was been sore most of the week, and so that's good. So I know it's doing something that I hadn't been hitting as far as my chest muscles. So. What I plan to do is make modifications on this. I did not put, you see those deals right there where you stick out those weight holders? This one has also 4 in the back. Well, obviously I did not put them, you see the holes there? I didn't put them there because I wanted the room. I'm already crowded in my room here, so obviously I didn't want to put those pegs and then have to extend it out for another foot, because the only way I can get those weights on there is by not hitting the walls, but sticking it out, so I didn't want to do that. So I'm gonna have to do something different here. I'm looking at some other weight rack. I like that little weight rack right there for my free weights, but if I buy a different one for the Olympia weights here, I'm gonna have to take that out, because I'm looking at something that'll do both. And most likely I'm gonna bring my other weights in, the smaller ones from the outside, and utilize those. But, and then it's got some other attachments. I kind of hung those. Those are for doing some dips. So I got them out of the way, and there's other attachments I had to put back here. And sooner or later, I'm going to scratch up the wall, and someone's going to throw a fit. So I got to do something different. What I am planning to do, I didn't put the emblem up there because that's just a cheesy emblem. And I thought there was a medal or something on there. Not even that. It's just like a little flyer. But anyways, I did buy a little like a plywood type of deal, because I plan to put it across the back of this entire frame. That way, for 2 reasons, I plan to protect the wall from moving, any of those attachments back and forth. And the other thing is, I wanted the 2 make it, modify it to my, I guess, to my liking, because I'm calling this machine Megatron, one of the Transformers. I'm trying to go with a Transformer theme simply because I'm trying to transform my physique. Transformers, huh? So, I already bought the board. I got to cut it and then attach it to that. So that'll protect the wall. And then furthermore, I can add those bigger attachments, those, and then the top ones up here. I can put some screws or bolts back there onto the board, and then I can hang them out of the way, and it'd be easier for me to grab them from back there. So that's a 2+. And then I don't know if I was gonna paint it or get a poster of one of the Transformers, most likely the Megatron. And I'm looking for some kind of that. I've seen some lighting where it's got like a Megatron head night light or something, and then I can attach it to the board and put it up there, and then put Megatron. So kind of personalize that a little bit. So that'll give me a little bit more creative on this machine here. I actually started liking this weight bar. The bar goes up and down really smooth. So obviously I'm still learning it. I got a lot of attachments here, and figure out how I utilize this. So this is my second time really using it. So that being said, I'm getting ready to paint this. You can tell my treadmill already has some yellow on here. So I'm gonna make me these hand covers here because I sweat when I get on here, and so I do plan to paint it yellow. This is going to be Bumblebee. So I am ordering some Autobot and Decepticons emblems so I can put them on the machine. So kind of personalize it a little bit. But that's where I'm at. Hopefully maybe in a couple of weeks this will be done, and then I'll do an update. I am happy with the bench. It's a heavy duty bench. So, and it has the wheels on the bottom, so it does roll nice and easy. So I kind of wanted the treadmill right here, but it's not going to work out. The outlet's back there, and then I got the treadmill facing this way, and obviously the power supply comes in from the front, so I have to stretch that out and get an extension cord. So, but I want to watch TV as I'm on the treadmill, so that's not going to work out. This is going to have to just stay here and just put up some sliders underneath there, so son doesn't complain about me damaging the floor or whatever the case is. But anyways, she just wants it easier to clean up in here, but I don't think it's going to be any easier. But regardless, I'm up in my game. I am really content that I'm going up with this. I just got to figure out how I'm going to pay for it now. Okay, an update on my machine, my workout machine. This is the Major Fitness Drone 2. So got it complete. I did buy plywood 4x8, and I cut it down to 4x6. It does come with, the original machine comes with just those 4 hooks up there. But you see all those attachments? Well, I won't say all of these. I already had that, and there's, what else did I have? Had something else that's hanging in there somewhere. But anyways, all those attachments, I didn't want them on the floor, and it just, there's a place up here. It's got some holes also. That's why I'm utilizing these pegs up here. Those are made for, I guess, like rubber bands. They're supposed to go down here. There's holes down there. They'd be sticking out, but I don't know. I don't use those bands, and I'll be running into them, still my toe on them. So I'm not utilizing those. And then also it comes up with these big weight holders. It comes in the back here, but I didn't put those on just to utilize my space better. Granted, I wasn't going to use a lot of weights, so I do have, where I ordered these, I already ordered something, a rack, so I can put those up. But I wanted to create something more unique and customize it to my own needs. I am going to plan to put some emblem up there for my personal, to make it just personal for me. But I'll update that when I'm done with it. But I'm happy with the board. I did put some black material. I didn't paint it, it's material. I just stapled it onto the back, and then just used those frame holes where those weight racks were supposed to be the weight holders. And I utilized that and just drilled the wood and bolted it down. And then I kind of figured where I wanted my attachments to be more or less. I even got my little Bluetooth speaker there. So that's usually going on pretty good when I'm working out. So left some space down below there. My wife likes to vacuum around here. She can get the stuff back there. Then I got some extra foam and then I replaced it with the black one. So I'm utilizing that for my bench here. My wife's kind of picky about the floor, so I keep everything off the floor. But anyways, the attachments, I still have some room down there if I want to add any more, which I don't think I'm going to add much more. But I am happy with this. This right here, this is pretty comfortable. I started using working out on my legs, so that's for the neck part of that. These seem to handle pretty good. Going up and down, they're pretty smooth on both sides. There's a trick to get this. You want to get that bar out of the way. That's permanently on there. So in case you're looking into this, I thought that Olympia bar would come off so you can use it down here. That does not come off. I mean, if you want to take the time to take it off and unbolt it, that's up to you, but I'm not going to do that. So, but that I like the safety features on this because these right here, that is your spotter. It's, you know, if you put a lot of weight on it and you can't handle the weight, you can adjust those so it doesn't crush you, obviously, when you're doing bench presses. So for right now, I've hit my head on that bar plenty of times, so I want it completely out of the way when I'm not utilizing that bar. And best if you just take the weights off on the sides there, take the weights off, and that way you can push it up all the way. And this catches right here, you see it right there? These are the catches that catch onto these hooks right here when you're lifting. So there's no more catches up there. So what I'm doing, I'm utilizing that safety bar right to hold that bar up. So you can push it all the way up and I can clear it. So this right there, that bar itself, I'm gonna say it's an easy 6 feet easily. I'm gonna say I'm 5'6". I still got at least 6 inches on that bar. And I just left that pad there because that's how I was utilizing that last. But basically, if you just push that out of the way, that way you can get some clearance and then go in and out of there. And I use the pegs that are on the ground. I just kind of put them up. There's some extra holes up there. I don't know what they put those. Maybe that's for that reason. Same thing with this here. These are for the free weights type of deal. So I just got them out of the way. I set those out of the way. I got them on both sides there. So, for the most part, the rest of my attachments, you can see that I installed them. I just put some bolts, went through the material, drilled through them, and then bolted them onto there. That way they can hold my attachments. I can just pull them off easily. I'm actually using this in a ways that I hadn't been. I'm still learning on. So I'm doing some new exercises that I hadn't been able to do this with my free weights. So I'm going to give it a month to do a comparison on my physique, kind of before and after, because I am still trying. I got one more month before I come up on a year that I started my physical fitness journey. But my wife talked me into buying this just to clean up the mess that I had here. I had 2 benches and a frame to do some pull-ups. That pretty much took care of that. And then I still got a treadmill so I can do my cardio. But then I had to buy these rubber mats here. I would suggest buying those rubber mats and not use those foam mats because that machine does weigh quite a bit, and eventually you would just start digging into that, probably make it unstable. I am pretty happy with this the mats. These mats are 1/2 inch by 2 feet wide. So I'm pretty content with it so far. I did order something to my weights here, which I'm gonna have to replace that also. I want to keep those free weights, and then I got some smaller 1-inch free weights outside, which I want to kind of bring in and utilize the rack that I ordered through Amazon. But anyways, I guess if you have any questions regarding this machine, feel free to ask me. I'm still learning on this. I'm not an advocate on Major Fitness, but out of all the machines that I looked into, this one seemed to to fit the build that what it's going to do, what I wanted to do, and didn't want to overspend it. So I did buy the bench with that, which I'm happy with, and the weights with it. The weights are pretty accurate also as far as the weight. So good luck.